Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of LMScast. I'm Joshua Millage. I'm joined today with Christopher Badgett, and today we're talking about how to understand email options in learning management systems. What does that even mean, Chris?
Well, I think we all kind of take for granted what an email is or what is it in the context of something. So
Right.
with LifterLMS, our learning management system plugin, uh, it comes with these engagement emails that you can set up, which are triggered based on an action. But I just kind of want to rattle off and brainstorm with you all the different types of emails there are, and they're very different. So it's important to understand what that email option is in the context of what you're trying to do. So you can have marketing emails that maybe go to prospects that haven't bought your course or enrolled in your online school yet or whatever. You've got marketing emails that may go to people who are already enrolled, telling them about a new course available or something like that. You have transactional emails, which happen if somebody purchases something. um, you Lifter LMS can send you a welcome email, or if you're using the WooCommerce integration, it's going to send you that transactional email. We've
Mm-hmm.
done and looked at advanced transactional email for high volume learning management systems with Mandrill, which is another part of Mailchimp.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, we've we've created our own Mailchimp extension that allows you to add, when someone joins your platform or joins a course, you can add them to a group or an email list. And we've done the same with Infusionsoft. So there's just so many different types of email,
Right.
and that we can. It's important to look at well, what are you trying to do, and don't overcomplicate your email. But if you're ready to do some advanced email marketing and email engagement, we're there for you.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think email is really important. It's also important to understand the like you're saying, the difference between a marketing email, transactional email, and onboarding email. I look at it as your email communications. Just forget about email for a second, but how would you talk to someone if you're at the checkout? Um, you're buying a coffee. How would you talk to someone if they're trying to decide on what coffee to buy? And then what would you say to someone after they purchase the coffee and you maybe just want to check in on them as they're sitting in the cafe enjoying the coffee?
Right.
And you have the marketing email is how you would talk to them if they're deciding, the transactional email in the process of purchasing, and then the onboarding or fulfillment or maybe referral email that happens as they're enjoying the coffee after the purchase. Just take it back into human touch
It's a great
interaction
example.
and break it down into how you would speak to people in those, and you have them in each category. I think also, because we're talking about learning management systems, maybe a better analogy would be a classroom.
Hmm.
Go figure, right? So how would you talk to someone who's trying to figure out what class to register for? How would
Yeah.
you talk to someone as they've registered in the class and they're a part of the class? That's really important. So I think it's breaking it down for each phase, and then really putting yourself in the mindset and visualizing the experience that you'd want to have with someone in person, and then beginning writing. And that's what I try and do when I write emails, is I just forget that I'm writing email, and I sit back and I zone in on what's the experience that I want them to have, and then go from there.
Absolutely. I think that's a really neat analogy. And if you look at it with a university, there's these different departments. There's the marketing department, the admissions office, the teachers themselves as they're interacting with students in the class. There's the way students interact with each other. But as an education entrepreneur with these modern technology tools at your fingertips, you can now combine all that functionality into and architect your own platform, and take over on all that kind of messaging. But you got to play at all levels, because if you build great inside the course communications, but you don't have great marketing,
Mm-hmm.
you might not be able to grow your platform.
Right.
So,
Right. Every piece of the puzzle needs to be connected, and it's really important to do that. That's great, Chris. Well, I think this is a shorter episode, but I feel like it's really jam-packed and to the point. And I hope that everyone starts to break up their email communications into these phases, because I think they're going to have a much better experience connecting with their customers and students. So, yeah, we want to know what you think about this. So If you're on YouTube, leave us a comment. If you're on the blog, leave us a comment underneath this post. I know that Chris and I would love to get some insights into how you're viewing this content and what you think about this idea. So, Chris, do you have any final thoughts for the crew?
Yeah, I would just give us an example of how to think about emails if you are using Lifter LMS. Uh, with our plugin, I would consider using engagement emails for, like, let's say after a student completes the lesson and so on. That's the great, or the re-engagement if they haven't logged in 14 days. Use Lifter LMS. But if I was going to do like a big platform with a lot of courses and options moving forward, I might consider purchasing our MailChimp extension.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean I will stop using the engagements, but I would want to be building targeted email lists and use the MailChimp group functionality that I know if this person bought this cooking video and I want to send a more of a marketing message, that's what MailChimp does really well.
Mm-hmm.
So I would kind of put my marketing with MailChimp and my engagement with Lifter if I was planning on building a bigger, more complex platform.
Yeah, that's really helpful. Right on. Well, thank you everyone for listening, and we'll see you next week.